Welcome to this episode of Chattin with Staxx. I'm your host, Bill Staxx, and today we got breaking news. The Wheels of Soul Clubhouse has been raided. We're going to talk about it real quick. The FBI has raided the Philadelphia biker gang's clubhouse in connection to a shooting in Virginia. This is just being reported. So here's a brief rundown. The Wheels of Soul Clubhouse in West Philly was one of a dozen places raided by federal agents on Wednesday. The investigation stems from a fight turned shooting outside Virginia bar where authorities say over 80 shots were fired. Authorities say 19 people were either taken into custody or are being sought on charges related to the investigation. Federal agents raided the Philadelphia biker gang's clubhouse on Wednesday as part of an investigation into a shooting at a Virginia sports bar in April. And remember, they're a motorcycle club. They're not a gang. So the Wheels of Soul property on 6100 block of Market Street was one of several locations swarmed by authorities on Friday, including several places in Virginia. The raids resulted in over a dozen people being taken into custody. And they're stemming from the shooting. Here's the backstory. Investigators say a 42-year-old man sustained bodily injuries after he was beaten by members of the gang outside a Babylon Cafe in Woodbridge, Virginia in April. After the assault, a 41-year-old friend of the victim confronted the Wheels of Soul members and a shooting erupted that authorities say involved 80 shots fired. Bullets tore through the sports bar and several vehicles parked outside, but no one was seriously injured. Over 3 months after the fight turned shooting, federal and local authorities executed over a dozen search warrants at locations in Virginia and Philadelphia. The Wheels of Soul Clubhouse on Market Street in Philadelphia was one of the two spots in the city that authorities raided in connection to the investigation. Authorities say 19 people were either taken into custody or are being actively sought on outstanding related charges to the investigation. Now, remember, all these people are innocent until proven guilty. This is all allegedly. We can't confirm that this really even happened. You know how the cops do it. I'm just here to report on what they're saying. And they call them a motorcycle gang. They're obviously a motorcycle club. But you know how the media does it. They want to portray these guys as evil people, and look what they did to the Mongols. They arrested everybody that was at the gas station that day, and some people weren't even involved. So you never know what's true and what's not true. Yes, not cuz 100% happening right now as we speak. So there's a lot more that's going to be coming out about this, but they're raiding the clubhouse as we speak. Or it could be already over with, and I'm probably the first one to report on this. Once again, chat with Staxx for the breaking news. FBI raids Philadelphia biker gang's clubhouse in connection to a shooting in Virginia. Now, this happened at the Wheels of Soul Clubhouse in West Philly. Was one of over a dozen places raided by federal agents on Wednesday. Investigation stems from a fight turned shooting outside a Virginia bar where authorities say over 80 shots were fired. Authorities say 19 people are either taken into custody or being sought on charges related to this investigation. This is in Philadelphia. Federal agents raided the Philadelphia biker gang's clubhouse on Wednesday as part of an investigation into a shooting outside a Virginia bar in April. Wheels of Soul property on the 6100 block of Market Street was one of the several locations swarmed by authorities on Friday, including several places in Virginia. The raids result in over a dozen people being taken into custody or being sought by authorities on charges stemming from the shooting. Now, here is the backstory. Investigators say a 42-year-old man sustained bodily injuries after he was beaten by members of the gang outside a Babylon Cafe in Woodbridge, Virginia in April. And we'll go into this case a little further. But remember, these people are innocent until proven guilty, and all this that they report is most likely bullshit. But they say after the assault, 41-year-old friend of the victim confronted the Wheels of Soul members and a shooting erupted. Who knows? The 41-year-old could have been the one shooting, right? You never know everything about a case until everything comes out. They could have this all switched up. A lot of the things that are reported out there are not what they seem to be. When you read a police report, it's not always accurate. So it says after the assault, 41-year-old friend of the victim confronted the Wheels of Soul members and a shooting erupted. Authorities say involved over 80 shots being fired. Bullets tore through sports bar and several vehicles parked outside, but no one was seriously injured. Over 3 months after the fight turned shooting, federal authorities executed over a dozen search warrants at locations in Virginia and Philadelphia. The Wheels of Soul Clubhouse on Market Street in Philadelphia is one of 2 spots in the city being raided in connection with the investigation. They say 19 people were either taken into custody or are actively being sought on outstanding charges related to this investigation. So stay tuned to Chattin with Staxx for more information, and I will have it for you. Hatchet, what's going on? Shout out to Hatchet. I appreciate all you guys checking out this show. I will bring you more breaking news as it comes available. Stay tuned, because it's about to get real. Hope you guys have a great day. And remember, don't be a bitch.
And all new at 5, a major organized crime bust. 23 people under arrest now accused of stealing guns and cash.
Today, police revealed 4 organized crime groups are wreaking havoc.
From aggravated robbery to kidnapping, burglary, and more. Let's take a look at this. New pictures from court documents in this case. These are a few of the people who have been charged. And investigators say the money, tens of thousands of dollars, is all stolen.